The difference between finfish and shellfish. Finfish. These are fish with fins and internal skeleton. They have head, midsection, and tail. They also have backbone and have a bony anatomy. While shellfish, these are fish with external shells, have no internal back structure. They have a harder outside shell to protect their soft body.
Fish, just like humans, have a structure. It is just structured in a different way from human beings. Now, for a finfish bodily structure, it is composed of bony spines producing from the body of the fish. These are covered with skin and joined together either in a weebled fashion. And I'll be putting a display of the fish here so that you can see it. And for the composition of the shellfish is generally composed of 70 to 85 water. They are made up of 75 to 80% of water, 15 to 20% of protein, and they are also made of 2 to 5% of fat, 1 to 2% of minerals. Now, all of this is what makes up the shellfish bodily structure and composition. So, people might a fish can be classified in three different ways: vertebrate or invertebrate, freshwater or saltwater fish, lean or fatty fish. Vertebrate fish or finfish have internal skeletons, while internal vertebrate fish or shellfish have an external skeleton, so they're the opposite. Vertebrates have internal skeletons, while the invertebrates have external skeletons. Yes. So we have also the freshwater fish and the saltwater fish, the second classifications of fish. Now, the saltwater fish gives it away, where the sea would be a perfect example, where this is the habitat for the fish and they would be caught in the sea. And yes, now for the freshwater fish, those can be found in rivers, ponds, lakes, and our third classifications for fish are lean and fatty fish. Now, for the lean fish, they are fishes that are low in fat, such as red snapper, which we know because it would be a fish that is cooked in our household sometimes. Also, some other ones that we are not really familiar with, such as the perch, the bass, the pike fish. So the fatty fish would be the opposite of the lean fish, where those which have they are high in fat, such as the salmon, the tuna, the butterfish, the mackerelfish, the trouts. And these are some popular fishes that we have or we eat on a daily basis. Shellfish. Our shellfish are crustaceans and mollusks. Now, for the crustaceans, they are crabs, shrimp, or even lobster. And for our mollusks, they are things we would normally eat in our hotels because these are not normal foods that are found in our house, but they are such as like oysters, clams, mussels, scallops, and even conch.
Market farms for shellfish. The market farms for shellfish are live shellfish, whole shellfish, chopped shellfish, headless shellfish, and cooked shellfish. Live shellfish are fish that comes out of the water and are still alive. All shellfish are in the farm, which they are caught but are not alive. The shark shellfish or the outer shell of the fish are removed. The headless shellfish or the heads are removed. The cooked shellfish are usually canned for export.
Here are 8 guidelines to consider when purchasing, handling, and storing finfish and shellfish. 1. Finfish should be stored in the refrigerator and used within 1 to 2 days after purchase. 2. Store it on ice in the refrigerator to keep it cold as possible. 3. If fish won't be used within 2 days, wrap it up tightly in moisture-proof bags. 4. Finfish shellfish must be handled and prepared in a clean area to avoid cross-contamination. 5. To avoid foodborne illnesses, it is necessary to cook seafood to an internal temperature of 145 Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. 6. Use a thermometer to make 6. Use a thermometer to make sure your home refrigerator is operating at 40 Fahrenheit. 7. Shellfish that purchase live in their shell should be put in a shallow pond, no water, covered with moisture paper, towel, and 8. Never leave finfish, and shellfish at room temperature for more than 2 hours. There are 6 methods and the description for them that is used to prepare finfish and shellfish. 1. We have steaming. It is a gentle, fat-free cooking method that keeps the natural moisture in food. This method uses the steam from shimmering liquid, usually water, seafood broth, or wine to transfer it to and cook the food. The second one we have is grilling. Grilling gives a smoky flavor and a crisp texture to finfish and shellfish. It works best for meat, firmer, fresh finfish cut into steak and filled. Microwave oven work by shaking up the water and fat in food, which in turn make heat. Covering food with microwave safe plastic wrap or putting it in a microwave safe covered dish to steam. 4. Marinating. Many fish and shellfish benefit from quick soak in a marinade to boost flavor and help retain moisture. Even so, we care when choosing marinated ingredients and limit seafood time in marination so as not to overwhelm its natural flavor. Baking finfish shellfish food with oven, dry heat, and is excellent method for cooking whole fish, smaller delicate pieces of fish. Pan searing. 6. Pan searing is the technique used best to cooking fish stocks and thicker, shorter finfish, and shellfish. So there you go. You have 6 methods and the description of the method used to prepare shellfish and finfish.